TMPers, what is up? Nothing fancy coming at you with a time-critical legislative update. I need your help once again. We'll probably work together as a team many times to fight for freedom. First, some background. Gun control slapdown. I posted that video earlier this year. Seems like a lifetime ago. And I actually did it from a deployed military location. So important were my views on the subject at the time. I talked about some pieces of legislation which I honestly didn't think would have a snowball's chance of passing. Sure enough, they did not pass, thank heavens. But I also addressed what I foresee as the confiscation scheme in the United States of America for gun owners. And don't kid yourself. The confiscationists, the protectionist culture, the anti-self-defense types, which I really love calling them because that's what they are well-funded, they're well-organized, and they have lots of different ways they're going to go about doing this. But to do it, they need an accurate database of you, your guns, your personal information, of what you currently have and are legally responsible for. As I mentioned in Gun Control Slapdown. They can't do it through the ATF form 4473. That's the yellow form you fill out at point of purchase when you buy your gun in the U.S. in most places. Yeah, I know. That has all your personal information, your name, your place of residence, your birth date, maybe your social security number if you're dumb enough to put it on there. And also, you know, the gun serial number and type. But legally in most states, you can do a private-to-private transfer or sale of that gun, and 2 weeks later, it's out of your possession. And it's completely legal. That's, by the way, what they refer to as the gun show loophole. There is no gun show loophole. When you hear that term, by the way, and this is a whole separate video, gun show loophole, what they're talking about is making illegal private-to-private transfers of your gun. Why do they want to do that? So they can make their database. That way they can ring your doorbell and say, hey, we understand you have this Glock 17. No, I don't. I sold it. Really? You sold it? Well, we made private-to-private transfers of Glock 17s and all other guns like it illegal. And yet you say you don't have it. Well, yeah, but I gave it to my uncle. Doesn't matter. You're coming to jail with us. Thank you very much. You dig? So that's what they need. They need an accurate database of what you have so they can lock into position their information on what guns and ammunition, for that matter, are in your house. And guess what? That is how they're doing it in California right now. And they're going through the back door through just that, the ammunition. Assembly Bill 962 is on the desk of Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger as I make this video. We only have a few days, about 5 to be exact, to flood his office with emails, faxes, and phone calls telling him to veto this piece of garbage legislation. Here's what it does. It makes internet purchasing of handgun ammunition completely illegal. The handgun ammunition purchase has to take place in a face-to-face interaction with a state-trained employee from the gun store. Okay, never mind how they're going to get that state training, who's going to pay for it, and that the mere fact that it's mandated may put some gun stores out of business. They don't care about that. Honestly, they don't care about public safety either. All they care about is making their database so they know exactly what you have. So they can ring your doorbell and come take it away from you. Okay? Other provisions of AB962, just as onerous. They're going to take your thumbprint when you go and buy your ammunition. Let's say you just go into the store, buying up, 50-round box of 22 shells, go plinking. Whatever, you're getting thumbprinted. They're going to take your license, your driver's license information, your place of residence. All the identifying information that you have will be recorded and associated with that ammunition sale and kept on file. How you doing? There's my favorite phrase, I know, for 5 years. Okay? My friend, TMP Research, you see his screen name and annotation. By the way, he is an avid California gun owner, expert in California gun law. So if you have some questions, fire him off to TMP Research. He'll try to get to him. He's busy just like I am. Please understand. But he brings up the point that it would be kind of a shopping list for criminals, that database within that gun store. Since they have to keep them on file for 5 years and it's a legal record, can't they just find out, who has what calibers, what their address is, their phone number, maybe make a phone call, see if that person's home. Oh, they're not home. Guess what? I guess I'll go ahead and rob them today. So that's another unintended consequence of AB962. There's my favorite phrase. I said that in gun control slapdown. Every time that no matter how well crafted the gun control legislation is and what their lofty purposes are stated, it has tons of unintended consequences that just screw everybody, to include the law enforcement community. Like I mentioned before, Leos in California honestly don't know how to enforce what they have going there. So convoluted, confusing, and contradictory are the gun laws in the state of California. AB 962 is not going to help. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt businesses, small mom and pop businesses that need that money coming in off ammo sales. You like going and doing shelf checks on your ammunition, like, checking it out? Forget it. It's going to be locked up. No longer are you allowed to personally access that as a customer. It has to be behind lock and key, and it's going to be a highly controlled item with Assembly Bill 962. I'm shocked it passed by a majority in California. Actually, I'm not shocked. I know they're ran by the Protectionist crowd over there. But on September 11th, AB 962 passed California Assembly by a vote of 44-31. To me, that's astounding. It's astounding. Jacked up. There's nothing good about this. It's going to completely outlaw internet sales for our California brethren of ammunition, at least the handgun variety. And it's probably going to be expanded onward and upward. And it will essentially create, this is the important part, a database for gun owners in California. Now, granted, you can still go through the ridiculous, transaction process that California mandates for all their gun owners, but they're still going to get all these data points rolling in. Hey, in September 2009, Joe Blow was buying 9mm ammunition. Oh, what? He bought 500 rounds? Okay, he is a threat. Maybe they pass a law later that anybody that has 500 rounds or more is a threat to state or national security. And by the way, if they have that information, I'm talking the state of California, the federal government can have that information as well. So we need to fight with all energy of heart Assembly Bill 962. It's already passed the Assembly. The only way we're going to do it is by pressuring the governor, that is Schwarzenegger, to veto it. He's a politician. To me, this is just me speaking, I think he's kind of a turncoat conservative in a lot of different ways. And he needs to realize that he has to be true to conservative principles. And the freedom of gun ownership is paramount. If you alienate one of your core constituents, and that is gun owners, you are kind of putting your political career in jeopardy in the U.S. I hope it goes that way in California too. We need to be professional when we talk to them. We don't need to be angry or irate. Those are pretty much flushed down the toilet. Anytime they get an email that's irrational or yelling or shouting, they don't even pay attention to it. Sound professional. Look at my sidebar. I'll have a sample email or letter that you can send. At this point, it's probably going to be emails, faxes, and phone calls. There's really no time for letters. And let me tell you this. I apologize I didn't get this out sooner. I've been so maxed out with my jobs, rolling out some shoots in the Nut and Fancy project, videoing them, and then putting together a few vids. Sorry. Better late than never, and 5 days is enough to flood his office with thousands and thousands of calls. They will never be satiated, the protectionists. They are after your complete disarmament. This is not for the betterment of public safety in the state of California, no matter what they say. It does nothing of the sort. It will have unintended consequences towards our law enforcement brethren too, about their obtaining of ammunition, about how expensive and hard to just find ammunition will be in the state of California, more so than it is now. AB 962 is a people control bill. It is not an ammunition bill. It is a people control bill, and it needs to get burned hard. Let's apply a lot of pressure to Governor Schwarzenegger. And I would like to see thousands of these correspondences rolling across his desk, professional, but he needs to know if he signs off on this that his governorship in the state of California is pretty much done. Even if you don't live in California, call him. Even if you live in Germany, Norway, call him, fax him, let him know that his actions are being watched the world over. And for you guys to say, well, this is California, we can cauterize that state, it's already too far gone. Negative. We need to help our brethren in the state of California. We need to go on the offensive in the state of California, overturning their socialistic gun control measures they have now, and burn them. Just like jumping in there with a flashlight and a 45 like a tunnel rat, get in there and start wasting these gun control measures. They're awful. They're horrendous. I'm a believer in the political process. I've said that many times. We need to use it now and use it wisely to defeat 962. I remain hopeful, and I hope we can do it. Thanks so much for your support. Fire off in the comments what you've done. You guys rock. This is a clearinghouse for the protection of freedom the world over. The Net and Fancy Project, I believe in it. It is my lifeblood. It is your lifeblood, and it's the lifeblood of your children and their children. And we can never sleep. We can never rest. We can never assume someone else will fight our battles. Join the NRA. Give generously to the NRA and ILA. They weigh in on these battles financially and legally constantly. And they have a lot of clout to do it, but they need our funding to do it. And I thank you for that. I probably forgot some stuff. I'll annotate it if I do. Net and Fancy. Quick legislative update. Oh, and by the way, look in annotation and also the sidebar for all the contact information for Governor Schwarzenegger's office. Signing off from my bunker. Talk to you soon. Making videos still. Net and Fancy out.